The 2018 Citizen of the Year is Command Sergeant Major retired, Greg Moore. Come on up.
Wow. Let me get some thoughts, if you would. I wasn't expecting this, so I was kind of looking down the aisle to see the reaction of one of you guys. So I'd like to say, wow, I'm truly humbled and stunned and absolutely honored to be up here. But you know, I know one thing for sure, and that's I didn't do this by myself. As I look around the room, I think of so many in here who've done so much for me to make this community better. I gotta say, you know, Ollie, you said if your presence doesn't make a difference, your absence won't either. I'll just say I hope I made a difference. I know everybody in here that's been nominated absolutely made a difference. I think back to when I was a young soldier. I was a soldier in the Army and a military police soldier. And our motto was, of the troops and for the troops. And yeah, that's the first thing that just came to my mind when I'm walking up here. I'll tell you, I didn't plan anything to talk about, but I've got to talk about being a soldier and being an MP and being of the troops and for the troops. You learn real quick that it's not about just your corps, your regiment, or your unit. It's about your unit's part in a bigger mission. And we all are a part of this huge mission here to make our community better. And I learned, I was a young private at Fort Riley, Kansas, at the 1st Military Police Company. And when you're an MP in a division company, you'll learn real quick that it's not just about being a cop. And I was on shift one day, and I was a brand new private. And coming off a shift, you got a bunch of squads in the shift, and we were all joking about how many tickets we wrote that day for these soldiers. And each squad, every soldier would kind of total up the amount of those tickets. And my Sergeant Duvall, I'll never forget him. He snatched me by the collar and he said, "Let me tell you something, Private Morris. Our motto, of the troops and for the troops, is a lot more than what you think. And if you think that writing soldiers in our division is the right thing to do, you're absolutely wrong. And when you need those soldiers, whether you're on a deployment, you're at NTC, wherever you are, you're going to need those soldiers someday." I figured out real quick how our little part of that Army, our part of the Army, just adds to the bigger success of the big Army, especially in the division and people. Fast forward to Korea, 1985, I was studying for the Sergeant Board as a specialist, and I'm working with this soldier from Rolla, Missouri, and I'm digging through these 3-ring binders trying to figure out what I needed to know. There was 3 things that I knew. One, I had to pass this sergeant board, I had to re-enlist, and I was getting ready to get married. Well, the stress just got to me. I couldn't figure out all these answers to this board, and I threw down the thing and I said, I can't do this. I can't. I'm just going to ETS. I'm going to get out. I'm going to move back to Minnesota. It's just too hard. And AJ looked at me and said, "Hey, you can do this. It's easy. I see soldiers do it every single month. Let me help you. Let me help you." So she quizzed me. She smacked me around a few times. She got my uniform squared away for me. I passed the sergeant board, and you know, I tell you, AJ, I can't forget how much you do for me. So, fast forward to, sorry about that. Fast forward to Fast forward to leaving Fort Campbell, Kentucky. I needed to get an assignment. We were on assignment from Fort Campbell to Germany, and I had just come from Germany about 4 years earlier, and I was all frustrated about my branch. And this is when email just came out, so I learned how to email. But this young, emotional first sergeant emailed our regimental sergeant major. Pretty emotional. I said, "Sergeant Major, this is ridiculous. I'm a warrior. I need to stay in the 101st MP Company. This is what I need." I got a phone call from Sergeant Major Burleson, who had counseled me a few other times along the way in NCO Academy here and there. But he said, "First Sergeant, relax. The system it'll work. You'll find yourself where you need to be and where the Army needs you to be." I found myself on orders right away on orders for Fort McClellan. But I appreciate your care and your mentorship, Sergeant Major. You've continued that throughout here in this community. So thank you so much. So fast forward now to now I'm a first sergeant, and we moved to military police school here. Now Fort McClellan's a little different. There was kind of two siloed units, two siloed regiments at Fort McClellan. You had the Chem side of the post and the MP side of the post. It wasn't bad or good. That's just the way Fort McClellan operated. So when we got to Fort Leonard Wood, I kind of figured it would be the same. Three sides. The engineers would have their part, MPs would have their part, and the Chem would have their part. Of course, the MPs would be a lot better, and I just go. So we get here and I sign in. The day I signed in, my brigade sergeant major, Dan Rimmer, says, "Oh, by the way, it's Dan's birthday today, and if you know Dan, he's another superstar mentor of mine. Dan's birthday today, and he's fighting cancer very hard. If you know him, please shoot him a message and tell him you're thinking about him today." So Dan says, "First Sergeant, we're ruck marching to Lebanon tonight. Be at the Manson, the Maneuver Support Center at 2100. Who was a part of that road march?" So we road marched, and I figured out real quick that this community was pretty awesome. But I also met the commanding general and command sergeant major that night. And what I found out was there was not going to be any siloed units. And Command Sergeant Major Bob Dills, the foundation that you and General Flowers laid for our regiments that come to Fort Leonard Wood and all of us be successful and work together. We used to have to figure out words like synergy. I've never heard that word before. We'd be quizzed on it. But Bob, I'll tell you, your leadership laid a foundation for years to come. And then I found out how engaged this installation was with the community. We'd go to an AUSA breakfast at 7 o'clock in the morning at the Ramada. Okay, we'd eat breakfast, nice crispy bacon. Where's Ursula? We had an awesome breakfast together. We'd have all these CSMs and first sergeants on post, and we'd meet up with civilians. I met Keith Pritchard, Larry Sexton, Dalton Wright, and a few hundred others, and we'd split up and go recruit AUSA members in the community. And I'll tell you, I figured out real quick there that our community leaders weren't all about a handout. It was about what can we do to make our installation better. And I saw that a lot further later. So then I'm getting ready to leave Fort Leonard Wood. Well, first I was getting ready to make sergeant major. I know I'm rambling, but you got to work with me here. I'm making sergeant major, and I was pretty fired up about that. So AJ and I were driving in Rolla. We had to get gas because with AJ, if the gas tank goes below half a tank, I got to fill it back up because she's kind of if you get stuck in the mud or a snowstorm or whatever, it might just be a traffic jam. You got to fill that thing up. Me, I wait till it dings and then I challenge it to go 50 more miles, right? Well, I'm getting ready to make sergeant major, so I'm kind of fired up. I'm like, well, I'm going to take you to a full-service gas station. And she's like, why are you going to waste your money? Are there any millennials here? So a full-service gas station. Okay, Sarah. So they pump your gas for you, right? They put your air in your tires, check your oil, and wash your windshield. So we pull in, and I look, AJ's got this weird look on her face, and this guy's coming out. I'm like, fill her up. He fills it up. I'm like, what's going on here? She said, I'll talk to you later. Just don't make a big deal. So I tipped the guy. I'm like, sorry, Major, I can tip this guy. We drive away. I'm like, what is going on? And she says, I used to date that guy in high school. So now my chest pumps out. I'm all fired up. I'm like, see? You married me, the MP Sergeant Major. He's pumping gas. She, boom, punches me in the side. She goes, no, had I married him, he'd be the Sergeant Major and you'd be back in Minnesota in something silly. So, needless to say, I'm off to my next assignment. And I needed some help. And I worked for I was the G3 Sergeant Major of the MP school. And Sergeant Major Barrett, when I met Sergeant Major Barrett originally, Jim was my first sergeant for about 10 days in Berlin, Germany. He was a sergeant first class, and I got assigned to Field Station Berlin, which is an intel community, and then 10 days later, they reassigned me down to Augsburg, Germany. And Jim was fighting hard. He was fighting hard to keep me, I think. All right, so, well, years later, he's now my regimental sergeant major, and what I noticed about Jim is, whether it was me personally and the right assignment, or I don't care if that soldier was a private, a sergeant, or a sergeant major, or a captain, or a colonel, Jim went to bat for that soldier every single time. When the Army regulation didn't make sense, Jim fought through that every single time. And it didn't matter who he was dealing with, and he'd fight through it and he'd make it happen. And Jim, I'll tell you, me and my family appreciate everything you've done for us personally and professionally. Appreciate it. So we're back at Fort Leonard Wood, thanks to another reassignment as a battalion sergeant major, and my battle buddy Colonel Williams and I. We were welcoming back a unit from Iraq, and one of our non-commissioned officers got a divorce. His wife left him during the deployment, and it was horrible. Well, this sergeant's coming back, and Chuck and I were trying to figure out how to get this sergeant. We couldn't put him in the barracks. We were trying to figure out how to put him up. And through AUSA, I met a guy, Steve Earhart, who said, I went to Steve, I said, hey, this guy's coming back. And so bottom line is, we were expecting to pay for the hotel for the guy. And Steve's like, under the table, quietly, very professionally, didn't ask for any accolades, said, we'll take care of that hotel. And through that time of redeployment, that sergeant got free lodging. And I knew that right then, that next generation of community leaders was right on target. Steve and these community leaders never asked anything in return. So, fast forward a couple of years after that, or a few years after that, I come back. Now I'm getting ready to retire, and Steve and I had the opportunity to come and work for him, and I just absolutely knew that that was the right place for me. And I'll tell you, they say, Confucius says, if you find a job you love, you'll never work a day in your life, and I absolutely have. If you look over at table 7, we have 10 senior managers out here, well, 10 in our company, 143 years of service in the 10 senior managers. In the time I've been there, the 12 years I've been there, we've only lost 2 senior managers, and they left because of PCSing. And I'll tell you, those superstars allow me to do the other things to be a part of that. And I'll tell you, you guys rock. I appreciate what you do every day. Thank you. So part of that is I got an opportunity to meet folks like Mike Dunbar, Heath Pritchard, Ken Thomas, Koala, and this community, and being part of this community, you learn real quick that it's not about you, it's not about what you do, it's not about the accolades you get, but you certainly realize that we can do this a lot better together. And the last thing I'd say is, well, first, thanks to the chamber. This is a great organization. We're absolutely proud to be a part of it. But I'd say we didn't get this far to get this far. When you look back where Fort Leonard Wood was in the 40s, when you look back where it was in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, we didn't get this far to to get this far. How much better are we going to get? Whether it's with our organization, whatever part of the organization you play. And everybody has a role. Not everybody can be the loudmouth from Minnesota out there. Not everybody can be the quiet one sitting in the corner. It's a team effort. And I truly appreciate everything that this community gets done for our community. Thank you.
All right. To present a resolution, I'd like to invite up Ann Brown.
Thank you very much. Justin was supposed to be here tonight. He sends his apologies. He's got about 4 things going on this evening. And he called me on the way home yesterday and said, Dad, I've got all these things I've got to do this weekend. I've got to go to Alaska County. I've got to write a resolution for an important person. Would you do that for me? And I said, Justin, I'll help you out about it. I can, but they might run me out of the building if I go over here. And so he said, well, just for Rick. I said, yep, I'll be there. So I actually did the suit. Honestly, I haven't been on much. Dogs and cats want to share and wear a suit. And it's been kind of nice to be out of the political whirlwind that's going on right now in the political environment. And so it's really an honor for me to be able to present this to my good friend. Rick has, and many of us room, helped me help Fort Northwood. And I depended on Steve and folks in this room to give you some guidance on what do you need. Because with 5 counties, you can't be here. You're not on the ground. These folks are. And none of them are a bit back. And so I've been able to deliver a few of those things. And so it is such a great honor for me to present this Senate resolution. Command Sergeant Major Richard C. Rick Morris. And it's a big deal when the Senate does one of these resolutions. And I'm sure that the House's resolution is similar, so I'm sorry to lead through all the morass and bore you with that, but I value your friendship, and it is a great honor for me to get to present this.
Next up, State Representative Steve Lynch to present his resolution.
Good evening, everybody. Some of you may know that during Christmas on the Square, that I played the Grinch. And tonight, my heart has grown. I love my community. I love my community. I am so proud of all of our citizens that work together to make us who we are. And we're not like other places. We're different. You may have noticed, I did tonight, that none of the nominees for Citizen of the Year were born here. You don't see that in most communities. We live in a community where people come and go all of the time. military community. One that our community embraces. That when those that are serving our country and their families come here, they are part of our community, part of our family, and we are proud of them. And I think that shows so much that we care, that we have such respect for them, that they sense that we are so proud of them, that it creates a special bond here that I don't think they get at a lot of other places. And as a result of that bond, when it came time to hang up the uniform, we have people like Rick and throughout this audience tonight that stayed here and continue to be a vital part of our community. Tonight, I am so proud. Rick and I have worked on a zillion things together. And he has a heart for this community, just like I do, even though I was more here and he wasn't. But we stand together for the good of all. We work together to see us move forward. And we care together that all I know when you are a part of this community, you are a part of something special. I am so proud of you tonight. Because every time I've dealt with it, there is no doubt it has always been about the greater cause, about the greater good. And that is what the Citizen of the Year Award is all about. Congratulations.
All right. So next on my agenda says 2018 Citizen Acceptance Speech. So, Hoa! Congratulations.